All right, since it's 5:30, I'm going to call the September 6th meeting of the West Des Moines City Council to order and invite you all to stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Mr. Mayor, you have to start us a little quicker.
We're going to have to do a little better than that. That was pathetic. That was pathetic. Okay, please sign in. Let me see.
We have 3 members present, Your Honor.
Okay, Ryan, are there any changes to the agenda? You good? Okay. Any changes to the agenda, Ryan?
There are no changes, Your Honor.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as distributed?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
3 yes.
Okay, item 2, Citizens Forum. Anybody in the audience would like to address the council on anything that is not either part of public hearings or new business, please come up to the podium and give us your name and address for the record.
My name is Milton Cole. I live at 2001 South 40th Court here in West Des Moines. First of all, Russ, I must note that was under your leadership, we had the most unique Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of any council meeting I have attended. So
We try to keep it interesting.
Job.
Yep, and fun around here, so I don't know.
So I am here to laud several people and all of you. First and foremost, back in another era, Jane Papadage pulled people together to look at hiring a diversity, equity, inclusion officer. It was interesting when we first gathered, we noted the makeup of the initial committee was such that we weren't practicing what we were preaching, so we went back to the beginning. So there was an all call for people to apply. Some 18 applicants came forward. It was narrowed down, and then a group of you chose our DEI officer, Audrey Kinnis. She has been stellar. This month offers her 1-year anniversary of being on board. She's done an amazing job in a short span of time. One of the reasons that she is so due diligent is she always hears all the voices in the room, and she will honor and respect everybody, not necessarily agreeing, which is who much of us are as people, but also working with whatever opinion comes forth. I herald her. And also, I herald Renee, who's also on that committee, the Human Rights Commission. That has been a resoundingly successful group of people who come and look at who we are, what we have been, and who we might become. Last week, the Chamber, under Catherine Harrington's stellar leadership, put together a banquet in which people throughout the Des Moines area were honored. Renee was honored as the outstanding city worker and through the whole larger metropolitan area. It was a resounding honor afforded you, Renee. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Also, Audrey was lauded as the DEI officer of renown throughout our area. She's done this for less than a year here, but she already is lauded and heralded. And thanks also to you, Catherine Harrington, for putting the evening together. It was a stellar evening as usual under your leadership. So thank you very much for making it happen. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
Milton. Appreciate the comments. Okay, anybody else for Citizens Forum?
Catherine Harrington, 3917 Cody Circle, the very proud president and CEO of the West Des Moines Chamber. So happy birthday, Renee.
Thank you.
First of all.
Thank you.
Milton, thank you for those beautiful words. That was wonderful. Thank you very much.
Catherine, one thing I didn't say is the chamber was recently heralded as one of the top 3 chambers in the whole country
Yeah,
under your leadership.
Thank you, Milton. Thank you. We work hard for our city because our city is amazing. So I want to invite the public, our city, our region, the state of Iowa, everybody in the world to our next event. On September 14, from 7:30 to 9:30, we have a First Responders Appreciation Breakfast. We've been doing this for 7 years. It is a wonderful event. It'll be at the Hilton Garden Inn. And great news of those who register, 10% of registrants, the money will go to the West Des Moines Public Safety Cadets. So we are donating part of the proceeds for this event, and we have actually for the last couple of years. So we want to honor our first responders who have done amazing over the last couple of years. It's been a crazy last couple of years. It is a chance for them to be honored. This year we have our first woman speaker. Her name is Elizabeth McCormick. She's a decorated Black Hawk helicopter pilot. Wow. So she is incredible and very inspirational. So we hope everybody can come and join us and celebrate our first responders. Thank you.
Catherine, tell me again, at what time on September 14th?
7:30 to
7:30 to 9:30 at Hilton Garden Inn.
Hilton Garden Inn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
September 14th.
September 14. Yep. Thank you.
perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else for Citizens Forum? Okay, seeing nobody here in the chamber, I will go online. Anybody online that would like to address the council on any item that is not either part of public hearings or new business, please hit *6 to unmute yourself. Give us your name and address for the record. Is there anybody online that would like to address the council on Citizens Forum? Okay, hearing none, we're going to move on. Item 3, Mayor, Council, Manager Report. And we will start with our birthday girl here. Councilwoman Hardman.
Who's that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Milton, and for your kind remarks and your comments. I do want to take a moment to give some kudos and a shout out to our West Des Moines Chamber. I know you guys feel like I always talk about them because I'm on the board, but honestly, they're worthy of it. They're worthy of it. And under Catherine's leadership, as Milton so eloquently shared, she did put on the second annual D&I awards affair. And there is no one doing it greater than Catherine. And so we really appreciate that she and her team, Kara and others, are really uplifting the work of D&I, because oftentimes it hides in the shadows. And people feel that, it's not relevant, but it is relevant. And I think when you listen to all the stories that were shared that night from all different organizations, you realize that it's the D&I strategy that shapes the culture of organizations. And so I just want to say thank you, Catherine. I want to say thank you for your leadership. Thank you for all that you do to uplift West Des Moines and the citizens of West Des Moines. But thank you for allowing D&I to be the cornerstone of your leadership strategy. That's important. So other chambers can learn from you right here in town. So thank you to your team. I know that it's a team effort, so please share my comments with your team. And I do want to congratulate Audrey, who was the MC of the program and represented West Des Moines in grand style. And so I also want to congratulate her on her D&I award as well. So West Des Moines was very represented, and people are still talking about it, quite frankly. So kudos and congratulations to all the hard work that you did and continue to do on behalf of the city of West Des Moines.
Okay, thank you, Renee. On to Councilman McKinney.
Sorry. Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple items since we last got together. I guess the first two items relate to a couple public safety events that were held. The first was a swearing in for 2 new officers with the West Des Moines Police Department. It's great to be there to see them be sworn in to their new roles here in West Des Moines, and Mayor, for you to do the honors there. And then after that, I was able to participate in a training session that the CERT team here in the Greater Des Moines area gets together, and they train every once in a while. This happened to be the first training, I think, in the last couple of years due to some suspensions on COVID. And I'll tell you, I learned quite a bit through that experience, not only just the value of training, but how our police department engages in training pretty significantly, especially as compared to others in the metro. And I didn't know what to expect when I was there, and what I learned was quite a bit. And these are real kind of world simulations that you could tell increase the, it gets your blood going just watching it, right? I can't imagine actually doing it myself, but I'll just say it highlighted the importance for training for me, and potential opportunities maybe that we as a council could look at helping further that sort of thing for our police department. So just thank you, Chief, to inviting us to participate in that training. And then I guess Catherine, I'll also just pile on here. Thank you also for hosting the event at your home. For so many folks to get together with I know the President's Council, other folks on the chamber and community leaders for being there. So it was great to see them, great to connect with them, hear what's on their minds, and congratulations on your great event, the DEI event, and to you, Renee, and to Audrey on your recognition. So that's all at this time, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Councilman Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Hopefully everybody had a lovely Labor Day weekend. I kind of wanted to speak also on the subject of Chief Scott in our police department. The Dallas County Sheriff, Chad Leonard, is retiring. He's been there for quite some time, and I had an opportunity to go to his celebration of his retirement. Line out the door, by the way. Had to wait for quite some time and wanted to thank him for his service. And I was speaking to the Deputy Chief of Dallas County Sheriff's Office, Adam Infante, and we were just having a discussion, and what he was saying was, I'll tell you, the West Des Moines Police Department is doing it so right. He had nothing but kind words for the West Des Moines Police Department when it comes to our training, which is just, in the state of Iowa, just tops. And so he had a lot of words to say about Chief Scott and your entire leadership staff. So I really wanted to recognize that and say thank you for that, because it's awesome to hear that from people who are outside of our community. And if they're jealous, then hey, that means we're doing something right. And that's good to hear. So I wanted to thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely. Second, I did want to share a little bit more about what I talked about last time about the new West Des Moines City Student kind of committee that we're starting to work on a little bit. I send out an email to the 4 principals who have a large portion of West Des Moines students: the principal at Valley High School, the principal at Walnut Creek Campus, the principal of Waukee High School. As we know, there are more West Des Moines students in Waukee High School than Waukee students in Waukee High School. But anyway, and finally, Dowling Catholic High School. So we send an email to all 4 of them. And I'm just going to read a little bit from the email just so that everybody in here and online can find out a little bit more what it's all about. I'm reaching out to you because I'm hoping to create something new, a way for the city of West Des Moines to amplify student voices. And because your school is such an important to the West Des Moines community, I was hoping that some of your students who are residents of West Des Moines would be interested in joining us for this inaugural meeting. I'm envisioning a committee that meets quarterly and hopefully grows into something where our young residents can have a voice in what can and should be happening in our community. We'll learn from one another as we brainstorm ideas about what's going well in the city, what could be improved upon. We'll have guests from different parts of the community, perhaps the mayor, city council members, city manager, city attorney, department heads in the back. Might be calling on you to join us because I'm sure the students would love to hear from you as well. But overall, I'm hoping to gain insights into the different yet valuable perspectives that younger Iowans bring to the table. And so, bottom line, on October 16th, that's a Sunday afternoon, right here in the City Council chambers, we're going to be inviting students from all over, high school students from all over, to tell us how they think West Des Moines is doing. Because I would love to hear, because we know that a city that isn't growing is a city that is slowly shrinking. And like I tell my students in AP US History all the time, go off, have fun, go to New York City, go to Dallas, Miami, San Fran, LA. Just go do that. Do an internship, go to college. But then 7 years later, when you're living in a studio apartment in New York City paying, I want to get this number right, $2 million a year, maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe you're going to look at West Des Moines and say, no, this is the place we want to be. And I like to tell them that the decisions that we make today are going to affect how things are 10 years from now and in the future. So the more we can find out for what they might want a city to be, I think the better that we will be. And so I wanted to let you know that just October 16th is that meeting, and I'll probably mention more as time comes closer, but that is on its way, Your Honor. So
I love that you're doing that. That's a great idea. I think that's perfect. And I think we need to have more partnership, not only between the city and our youth, but also between the city and our schools.
Oh, yes.
So that's
All
why
of
I've
the
been
schools.
encouraging you on the city school committee, and I encourage you guys to bring more schools in and meet more often. But I think it's great you're doing that, Greg. So,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
City Manager Haddon.
No report, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to go back to Renee, who's got one more thing to
I
add.
appreciate that, Mr. Mayor. I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to congratulate one of our constituents and community leaders, Rochelle Long, for the Taste of the Junction. That happened this weekend, and I happened to be in Chicago with my family. It's my birthday weekend, so I had to be with my family. But certainly supported it because I think that it is so vital to our history here in West Des Moines. And I know there's a proclamation, and thank you, Mr. Mayor, for signing that. But it was a celebration that I think brought so many people together, such rich heritage. And this is what makes West Des Moines such a welcoming place. And so I think it was their 10th anniversary. Blood, sweat, and tears went into it. I saw Facebook posts. I received phone calls and texts. And so I want to thank Rochelle for all of her hard work and that of her family for bringing a cultural event to the Junction and celebrating where everything began for West Des Moines. So if you're out there watching, I know Vicky's there, her sister, she was pulled in to help too, I would imagine. But want to thank the family for keeping cultural and rich history right there in the Junction, where people all over the metro come and eat and have fun and learn about how West Des Moines is the great city that it is. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Renee. So much has been said. I'm not going to repeat everything, but I do want to echo some of the comments. It was a huge honor to be able to swear in a couple police officers that have been added to our force, and to recognize some officers that had life-saving events or awards for things that they did, and a lot of other recognitions that we had at the police department. Our police just do such a phenomenal job, and Councilman McKinney alluded to the training that's done, after we've had some of the events that have gone on around the country with school shootings and whatnot. I've talked to Chief about what can we do to make sure that our community is even more safe than we are today. And there's a lot of great things that we're already doing, but, he hit on the training that they're doing and invited all of us to attend that training. Unfortunately, I was not able to be there, but that's what I've heard from Chief, exactly what you reported, how intense it is and how hard they train to make sure that they respond swiftly and respond to the threat at hand. I think we're in great hands in this community because of our police and the job that they do. So also just wanted to briefly touch on the DEI awards and the dinner that was the other night. Again, very proud of Renee and Audrey, both. Very proud of Catherine Harrington for the job that she's doing at the chamber. It was a phenomenal event. Unfortunately, I had to leave after about an hour. Didn't even get to see Renee accept her award, or Audrey. My son had a football game at Southeast Polk, but my gosh, extremely well attended. and just a very proud night, I think, for our entire city. And I joked with Catherine as she was walking in here, the job she's doing as president and CEO of the chamber is absolutely phenomenal. I just cannot even believe all the amazing events that she's having to bring our community together. So kudos to you and your team. And then, of course, the Long family as well. I agree. I can't believe that it's been 10, is that possible? 10 years? I remember when it first got up and running, and what a proud event that we have down in Valley Junction to celebrate our heritage. That's just phenomenal. So, and with that, I'm going to move to item 4, consent agenda. Are there any items that any council person would like to pull? I think there's a couple that Matt would like to pull.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. 4I, I believe it's 1 and 2. Yep.
Okay, 4I, 1 and 2, we will pull that one. Are there any other items that any council person would like to pull? Otherwise, I will take.
Move for the remainder of the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, please vote.
Three yes.
Okay, 4I, 1 and 2 are approval of amendments to professional service agreements dealing with the West Des Moines Digital Enterprise Design number 5, and as well as network segment number 1. Matt?
So on both of these items, I'm going to abstain for a potential conflict.
Okay,
Move for
and which
approval?
one are they? Just want to make sure.
I1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
And I think, Ryan, can we
Yeah.
vote on these at the same time, or do you need separate votes?
We can do them at the same time.
Okay,
Move for 4I.
okay, move, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, please vote.
Two yes, one abstaining due to potential conflict of interest, and the motion does pass.
Just for the purposes of the audience as well, this is not usual, but on motions, it requires a simple majority of the council that is present, but on resolutions and ordinances, it actually requires a majority of the full council. So, in case anybody was wondering about that one. Okay, moving on to item 5, new business. Item 5A, Parkhaven PUD northeast corner of Fuller Road and South 33rd Street, amend the Parkhaven Plan Unit Development Ordinance to remove restrictions within Parcel C, John Wheeler. We have got an ordinance for approval of the second reading, waiver of the third, and adoption in final form. There are no outstanding issues, and there's no change from the first reading, which passed unanimously, I believe, with McKinney absent.
Move for consideration of the second reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Three yes, an ordinance amending the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019, and ordinance number 919 pertaining to plan unit development, district regulations, and guidelines.
Move for approval of the second reading.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
Three yes.
Move for waiving of the third reading and adopting in final form.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
Three yes.
Okay, item 5B, ordinance approval of traffic code amendments through streets, stop required, South 100th Street to Booneville Road, or Booneville Road to Stagecoach Drive. We've got, again, a second reading, waiver of the third, adoption of final form. There are no outstanding issues. No change from the previous reading, and again, I believe this was passed unanimously with McKinney absent.
Move for consideration of the second reading.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Three yes, an ordinance amending the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019 by amending provisions pertaining to the traffic code relating to official traffic controls.
Move for approval of the second reading.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
Three yes.
Move to waive the third reading and adopt in final form.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
Three yes.
Okay, item 5C, ordinance approval of the traffic code amendments, four-way stop intersections, South Grand Prairie Parkway and Mills Civic Parkway. We've got, again, an ordinance for the second reading, waiver, third adoption of final form, no outstanding issues. And I believe, again, this was the meeting that Councilman McKinney was absent.
Move for consideration of the second reading.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Just this being open is fantastic. So many people are so much happier because it is open. That is all.
Yep.
I'll maybe pile on there. I've heard the same from several residents in the area. And I'd also add that this morning during the development planning meeting, there was a discussion about, as you look at the map that's in our packet here, the intersection of Grand Prairie Parkway and Mills Civic on the southeast corner, having two major arterials come together right off of I-80. There's an applicant looking at, trying to perhaps put some commercial development there, kind of the first major intersection after you get off the interstate. So it was a discussion we had and something I think we continue to move forward.
Yeah, I think this is a big deal because if you look at it, I believe that Waukees section of Grand Prairie Parkway is pretty much finished, and there's really not a lot for them to do there. And this really helps us to make the connections we need to make, and I believe almost complete this road. So, if not complete it. So, okay. With no other comments, please vote.
3 yes, an ordinance amending the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019 by amending provisions pertaining to the traffic code relating to official traffic controls.
Move to approve the second reading.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
3 yes.
Move to waive the third reading, adopt in final form.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
3 yes.
Okay, item 6, public hearings. Item 6A, this is time and the place for a public hearing to consider the village at Sugar Creek, northeast corner of Booneville Road and South 88th Street. Amend comprehensive plan land use map and amend the planned unit development to modify parcel boundaries and designate and regulate support commercial land use within development parcel B, initiated by DB Booneville LLC. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
August 17th, 2022 in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comments of this hearing?
The Planning and Zoning Commission, by a vote of 7 yes, adopted a resolution recommending approval of the comp plan amendment and PUD amendment.
Okay, anybody from the audience would like to address the council on item 6A, please come to the podium here, give us your name and address for the record. Got kind of a light crowd tonight, so I'm not sure anyone's going to be coming up here. Okay, anybody online that would like to address the council on item 6A, please hit *6 to unmute yourself and give us your name and address for the record. Okay, hearing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We've got a resolution and an ordinance which we have to take separately. There is no outstanding issues, and there's one condition of approval regarding the potential need to upgrade infrastructure in the area based on the current property or use of current project. Can I get a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
3 yes.
Okay, now we've got an ordinance for approval of the first reading.
Move for consideration of the first reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
I think I'd just add, Mayor, that your comment there about the recommendation and acknowledging the land use contributing to the sanitary sewer load exceeding the existing comp plan is just it's a really good reminder of the importance of the comp plan process and making sure that we understand how things may develop and what infrastructure is going to be necessary, because clearly it wasn't sufficient in this particular area, and that's why we've got this item that talks about acknowledging it doesn't meet, it's greater than the existing infrastructure can accommodate.
Sure. Appreciate the comment. Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Three yes, an ordinance amending the official zoning map of the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019 by amending Title IX zoning, Chapter 9, Plan Unit Development District pertaining to PUD district regulations and guidelines.
Move for approval of the first reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, please vote.
3 yes.
Okay, item 6B, this is time and place for a public hearing to consider amendment to City Code Title 9 zoning, Chapter 2 zoning rules and definitions, Chapter 10 performance standards, and Chapter 14 accessory structures, modify regulations pertaining to accessory structures for recreation, sports, and entertainment facilities, initiated by the City of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
August 17th, 2022, in the Des Moines Register.
And have you received any written comments of this hearing?
The Planning and Zoning Commission, by a vote of 7 yes, adopted a resolution recommending approval of the ordinance amendment.
Okay, anybody from the audience would like to address the council on item 6B, or anybody online that would like to address the council on this item, please come to the podium, give us your name and address, or hit *6 to unmute yourself. Hearing and seeing no one, I will declare the public hearing closed, and we've got an ordinance for approval of the first reading. This did come through Development and Planning June 6th, as well as August 1st, I believe, and simply makes a number of clarifications regarding accessory structures as they pertain to recreational facilities. While I don't personally believe this is 100% necessary, I think it is prudent, given potential misinterpretation or misapplication of our code. Can I get a motion?
Motion to consider the first reading?
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
I think in points of whenever there's some ambiguity, it's important to have clarification, especially when we kind of embark on a new voyage. And so these points of clarification are especially appreciated. So thank you to the staff for working diligently to create these clarifications, which are very necessary.
Yes, I agree. I think, my interpretation would be that they were pretty clear before, but given the points that have been raised, why not clarify?
Crystal clear.
Yes. Okay, any other discussion before we vote? Okay, please vote.
Three yes, an ordinance amending the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019, Title IX zoning pertaining to accessory structure regulations related to recreation, sports, and sport-based entertainment facilities.
Motion to approve the first reading?
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, please vote.
Three yes.
Okay, item 6C, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider amendment to City Code Title IX zoning, Title 10 subdivision regulations, modify regulations pertaining to street side yards on corner lots initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, did you please read the date the notice was published?
August 17th, 2022, in the Des Moines Register.
And have you received any written comments of this hearing?
The Planning and Zoning Commission, by a vote of 7 yes, adopted a resolution recommending approval of the ordinance amendment.
Okay, anybody either online or in the chamber that would like to address the council, please either hit *6 to unmute yourself and give us your name and address, or come up to the podium and do the same. Okay, seeing and hearing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We've got an ordinance for approval of the first reading. There are no outstanding issues, and this did come through Development and Planning on August 1st with unanimous recommendation.
Motion to consider the first reading?
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Three yes, an ordinance amending the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019, Title IX zoning and Title 10 subdivision regulations pertaining to street side yards.
Motion to approve the first reading?
Second.
Okay, please vote.
Three yes.
Okay, item 6D, this is time and place for a public hearing to consider 1985 Southeast Walnut Woods Drive, conveyance of an Ingress, Egress access easement to the West Des Moines Soccer Club and acceptance of conveyance of property interest from West Des Moines Soccer Club initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
August 30th, 2022, in the Des Moines Register.
And we received any written comments of this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody from the audience or online that would like to address the council, come to the podium, give us your name and address, or hit *6 to unmute yourself and give us your name and address. Okay, hearing and seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We've got two resolutions which we can take at the same time, and there are no outstanding issues.
So move.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
It's things like this that make me appreciate the fact that the city, property owners, organizations throughout the community are working together, because it feels like something like this in a city that hasn't built good relationship can devolve into just something ridiculous. But because we have good relationships with everyone in the community, and we like to build and maintain those, then we can actually build like we're building bridges, so we can, in this case, build a bridge.
Yeah.
There it is.
And one of the bridges we're building is going to go and connect over and
Yeah.
take people to the soccer club. So
That's
they're
it.
happy about that, too.
I know. It just makes sense. So,
Okay, thank you for those comments. Hearing no other comments, please vote.
Three yes.
Okay, item 6E, this is time and place for a public hearing to consider 2022-2023 fiscal year operating capital budget amendment number 1 initiated by the City of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
August 19th, 2022 in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comments to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody in the audience that would like to address the council on item 6E or anybody online, please come up to the podium or hit *6 to unmute yourself and give us your name and address. My goal is to say that differently every single time. Okay. Going once, going twice, hearing and seeing no one, I will declare the public hearing closed. We have got one resolution for approval of budget amendment number 1. There are no outstanding issues, and I know that this was very carefully vetted through F&A, where it passed on August 3rd with unanimous recommendation.
Move approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Three yes.
Okay, item 6F, this is the time and the place for a public hearing to consider South Grand Prairie Parkway, Grand Avenue to south of Raccoon River Drive, initiated by the City of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
August 19th, 2022 in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comments to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody online or in the audience that would like to address the council on item 6F, please either come to the podium or hit *6 to unmute yourself and give us your name and address for the record. Okay, once again, hearing and seeing no one, I will declare the public hearing closed, and we've got 2 resolutions in a motion which we can take at the same time. There are no outstanding issues, and this did come through the Public Services Council Subcommittee on August 22nd with unanimous recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion at all? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Three yes.
Okay, item 7, new business, item 7A, Greenway Crossing Plat 4, 9150 University Avenue, approve final plat to create 2 lots for commercial development, Hy-Vee Inc. We've got a resolution to approve and release the final plat, and there are no outstanding issues.
Motion for approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Three yes.
Okay, item 7B, Jordan Ridge Plat 1, southwest corner of South Jordan Creek Parkway and Stagecoach Drive. Approve final plat to create 3 outlots for transfer of ownership and future development, Jordan Ridge LLC. We've got a resolution for approval and release of the final plat. There's no outstanding issues, the applicant's agreement with all staff recommendations. And this did come through Development and Planning in June and July of '21. Council approved the comprehensive plan amendment in October of '21 and the PUD in December of '21. Can I get a motion on this?
So, Mayor, on this particular item here, I've had a lot of kind of contact and trying to get a little bit more information relative to some of the surrounding property. And so just given some of the outreach that I've received here recently, I would ask that we defer this until our next meeting.
Okay, can I get a second to defer this item?
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, I guess I just would say that I have heard some of the outreach that Councilman McKinney is referring to, and I think it would be good to maybe get together with the developer on this and have a discussion and do some additional due diligence in the meantime. So with that, please vote to defer this item, and just to be certain, we're not deferring at time certain, assuming that the due diligence can be done, meetings can be set up, we could bring it back potentially at the next meeting, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, please vote for deferral.
Three yes.
Okay, item 7C, Polo Club, 6201 EP True Parkway, approved major modification to site plan to allow construction of new apartment building, Polo Club LLC. We've got a resolution for approval of major modification to the site plan. There are no outstanding issues. The applicant is in agreement with all staff recommendations, and this did come through both Development and Planning and P&Z with unanimous recommendation.
Move approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Three yes.
Okay, item 7D, Plata Survey, Parcel 2022-1147, west side of southeast Moffett Lake Road, north of Veterans Parkway, approved plat of survey to create parcel to be vacated as a street and as right-of-way, City of West Des Moines. We've got a resolution for approval and release of the Plata Survey, and there are no outstanding issues.
Motion to approve?
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Three yes.
Okay, item 8, receive, file, and/or refer. We have no items. Item 9, other matters. Are there any other matters that any council person would like to raise besides wishing Renee happy birthday and all this free time on her birthday?
Yeah.
Party time.
Renee, would you like us to sing a slow and very awkward happy birthday to you right now? That's a no? All right, just wanted to offer.
She might enjoy it, but people at home, I don't know.
Of course.
Okay, with no other items to come before the council, we are adjourned.
Great. Thank you.